you mind me asking, where it says James Doyle, are you related
We are.
We
to
are.
Ollie?
Yeah.
Sort of.
Pretty
I
close.
thought it would be a bit of a coincidence if it was pure coincidence. I would have thought it was a bit funny.
Yeah, I wondered as well.
Yeah.
Bad.
Happens to be my middle name as well, which might give you a clue, James.
Actually supervising.
Just keeping an eye on me still. Oh, very good. Well, welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me once again. I'd just like to start by acknowledging that I'm broadcasting from the traditional lands of the Dja Dja Wurrung people, and to pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. And I wanted to start by just reconnecting with the present moment and reconnecting with ourselves, and just enjoying the beauty of doing that. So if you find yourself a comfortable position and either close your eyes or find somewhere to look where you won't get distracted, we'll start by just taking our attention to the breath. Just noticing what it feels like to breathe in and what it feels like to breathe out. So as we do that, we want to bring as much attention as we can to the in-breath. Really notice what that feels like. And the same with the out-breath. What we're doing is an experiential practice. It's not an exercise in thinking about the breath or trying to understand it. But just feeling it. Just feeling it the way you feel a warm fire on a cold night, or a cool breeze in the summer, when we really just stop and fully engage our attention in the process of feeling. So attention is the only thing that we have to work with in this practice that we can direct. The breath will do what the breath does, and that's quite okay. And the voice in your head, which I call the storyteller, will do what it does, and that's okay. So just a gentle reminder that we're not aiming for some sort of perfect inner silence, that we're not aiming for anything, in fact. We're just playing. We're just playing with attention, curious about what happens if we direct it towards the breath. And something I love doing is just on the out breath, just letting the shoulders drop, letting the body relax into this instant, into this moment, and to just feel what's arising right here and right now. As we do that process, as we pay attention to the breath, that voice in the head will come up again. Maybe it never went away. It will rise and it will speak and it will try to draw your attention in. And all we need to do is feel the breath. And when we get lost in a thought, we just come back. As soon as we notice, we come back. And that's all. Beware the voice that tells you that you're doing it wrong. The voice that wants you to be perfect. It's the same voice that's coming up and distracting you. Same voice, just taking on another role. So we can smile at that voice too. You don't need to be concerned by what it says. You can just watch it and just use breath awareness as an anchor. Feel that in-breath. Bring some energy and some intensity to that. Really feel it. And then on the out breath, just let everything go. Let it all drop away. Shoulders relax. The body relax. Just allow everything to come and go in its own time, in its own way. And just for a moment, let's just leave aside any thought to do with the past. Any past thought. Don't try to get rid of it, but just don't pay it any attention. Don't pay it any mind. And just for a moment, let's leave any thought to do with future. And you might want to imagine yourself just leaving that at the door. The way we take our shoes off when we come inside at some people's houses. Just leaving it out there. We might need it. When we finish this practice, we might not. But just for now, just for these few breaths, let's leave past and the future outside the door. And with that, let's also place any thought that relates to identity. So any thought of I am, I want, I need, I'm not, I should, I shouldn't. Any I thought, I'll just leave that outside the door as well and just keep feeling the breath. So we've got permission right now to disregard the past, the future, any thought to do with identity, and also any labels. So any words that either label the things around us or label people. They might be innocent labels like table, chair, curtains, or they might be the labels we apply to ourselves and each other. Rude and ignorant, kind and compassionate. I invite you to leave those labeling thoughts at the door as well. And of course, those thoughts might drift through, and that's okay. But we've got permission now to just feel the breath. And we don't need to attend to any thought of past, the future, of identity, or any evaluation, any label. And in this, we're stripped back to our true identity, to our basic nature. We've got attention, awareness, that's noticing or watching something in the phenomenal world. It's awareness of breath. So you may want to ask yourself as you watch the breath, who is it that's watching? Who am I without reference, when I don't refer to past or future, or identity, thoughts, or labels? What's left in here? And you might sense the awareness that's there in the background, the place where we're looking from. We're usually, all of us, obsessed with what we're looking at. In this practice, it's as much or more about who or what is doing the looking. And you can notice that this looking that happens is not something that we have to attempt. I don't mean looking with the eyes, but the state of being aware. It's not something that requires effort. It's not something we have to work at. It's just our natural state. As soon as those eyes open in the morning, there's this awareness. Right up until you drift off to sleep tonight. And even then, there's awareness of dreams. Maybe there's awareness of something in deep sleep. I don't know. But as we breathe and notice the breath, you can notice that this awareness, which is also peace and stillness, is who you are. It's not something that you need to earn or attain or find. What we're doing is noticing that that's what we are. Almost all of our other effort through the day, through thought and through deed, is aimed at improving the circumstances of the person that we think we are. In this practice right now, we're just putting that aside and just noticing what we are when everything superfluous is stripped away. To do that, all we need to do is notice the breath. And just curiously explore who or what is doing the looking, is doing the noticing. Again, this is not a question to wrestle with intellectually. It's an observation. We're observing our direct experience. We're noticing the breath. And we're just getting curious about who is doing that noticing. And sometimes it helps to focus attention just right behind your eyes. And just allow some attention to rest there. So we can feel the breath and just sense the attention. Or just rest the attention just behind the eyes. And just noticing, you might notice that it feels quite spacious back there. It feels quite open and free and vast, even, you could say. There's a vastness there. And if it's difficult to notice or it's hard to bring attention to, just feel the breath. It's quite all right. Again, no right or wrong to this practice. You're already perfect just as you are. You don't need to succeed at this to achieve something, become something, improve something. We're just sitting and noticing because we enjoy it, because it's fun, and because we're curious. Curious, we've been told so many stories by the voice in our heads for so long about who and what we are, what it means, and what we need to do. And now we're beginning to question those stories. We're beginning to look for ourselves and examine this inner world, to seek to understand experientially, not through stories or through anything other than direct experience. So anything that's true will hold up under observation. It will show itself to be true in your direct experience. And anything that wilts under that light of awareness was never true in the first place. And we can just sit and feel the breath. And we can expand that to the body. We can feel body against the chair. We can feel the physical sensations, the emotions rising. And we can just rest in that and enjoy it if we want. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm inviting you, if you're curious, to just take another step and to ask yourself that question: who is it that's observing? You'll start drawing attention back towards its source. And if that seems too difficult or doesn't make sense, just feel the breath and feel the body. Feel the aliveness of the body in this moment. Feel its movement. Its energy. Whether that's painful or pleasurable, doesn't matter. It's all part of this dance that we call life. dance that we're here to enjoy. And through which we're here to discover our own truth. So that's our twin purpose here tonight, is to just enjoy this moment together and to explore and discover your own inner truth. Whenever you get lost in a thought, it's no failure. It's nothing to worry about. It's normal. It's what is. We just bring our attention back to this moment, to this moment, and to this moment, and to this breath. To being in the body. So in some ways we're shifting from a life in which the body is really there just to carry the head around. That's what the voice in the head seems to believe. We're moving from that into a life of living in our body, fully inhabiting the body with attention and with awareness. And that, the fact that we're sitting here doing that and exploring that, really something to celebrate, something to enjoy and delight in. Not something to be serious or perfectionist or any of those things about. It's really just a way for us to just appreciate the life that we have right now. Just remember, when we move out of this practice, that everything we've done tonight is right there with you all the time. It's simple. It's not easy because the voice in our head is pretty clever. But it is simple and straightforward. We can all feel the breath. We can all feel. You can feel your body against the chair. Simple as that. And just know that this is something you can come back to anytime. And the more we come back to this, the more we see that this is our natural state. This state of awareness and aliveness is our natural state. And it's the other state that's become normal, that's actually the unusual one, the imbalance. So yes, it takes us some effort to bring attention, awareness into the breath and to this moment. But still is perfectly normal, natural. There's nothing extraordinary about it, except that we've forgotten about it for so long. So this week in your life and in your practice, I suggest that you just keep this attitude of play and exploration and fun, and use it to really just explore your inner world, what happens, what arises, what disappears. And to really notice the thoughts that come, what the voice says to you. And to just allow your attention some time to rest and just be. So when you're ready, I invite you to open your eyes. If you had them closed, feel free to stretch if you need to. If you want to. Great looking stretch in there. Love it. And if anyone would like to ask a question or share an observation, feel free to just unmute yourself and ask away. Hey,
For
Lynn.
me today, hello, Ollie. My mind seemed to be really active, listening. Every sound seemed to distract me, so it was really difficult to focus today. I don't know if it's because I had my mum for the first time with me, but it was kind of like every noise was just, and I was trying to. It's that whole perfect thing, trying to make everything perfect, and your mind's going, yeah, this isn't perfect, you need to do this. And so I was struggling today, but I did get there a few times as well, so that makes sense.
Yeah. No, it does. I think we all have times and days and weeks like that. And I think that's the thing, is it can, if you're aware of it and we don't get too caught up in trying to be perfect, then it tends to pass. Whereas if we can easily get discouraged and it can become a bit of a spiral, trying to be perfect and then not quite measuring up. So yeah, it's just good to be aware of, I think. And I'm sure everyone here has days and times like that, or parts of a session that are like that. So yeah, thanks for sharing, Linz. That's great. great reminder for us all.
Thanks.
Thanks, Ollie. That was a nice meditation. I realized when we were doing it that feeling the breath is a very good way of, as you say, anchoring the mind, because it's as if you don't have something to focus on or pay your attention to, your mind just, all sorts of thoughts come in, like almost as if you're dreaming in bed, you know. It's as if your subconscious is just at work all the time. And by relaxing, it was a good way of just letting that drift out, but it kept coming back. The more, it was like last week, the more it went on, the more subtle things kept coming in. It's as if my mind was saying somehow, I'm still here, you know, you don't ignore me, mate. And so the breath thing and feeling your body was a good way of just relaxing, so that sort of conflict quietened down. So it was good. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thanks, Richard. Yeah, it's a good reminder as well that sometimes things can settle, and then those more subtle voices or distractions can come up and start to try to grab us. And you know, that voice is pretty good at, if something doesn't work, it'll try something else until it can nab your attention for a while. So yeah, I mean, everyone's really getting that attitude of just, you know, imperfection is perfect. We don't want to be trying to be perfect at all, or trying to have a quiet mind. It's a really healthy way to practice, to just let it all come and go, and be okay with, you know, busy mind, and be okay with quiet mind. So yeah, we're all in the right track, whatever the track is. Yeah, would anyone else like to share before we finish up for tonight?
Yeah, Ollie's, sometimes I can't notice my breath here at all. I just
Mhm.
notice it in my belly, my stomach. Yeah, I think that's probably fine for now.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, really, I mean, it's just, I think the breath's really good one, because it kind of keeps moving, and but it's consistent, it's always there. But really, any physical sensation is fine. So yeah, breath it could be as simple as the movement of your shoulders when you breathe, or chest moving. Yeah, it doesn't matter too much what specific part of the breath, or if we're noticing all of it. But just, yeah, relaxing into that and just noticing whatever you notice is really good.
Thank you.
So thanks, Karen. Great question. Alrighty. Would anyone else like to share before we finish up for this evening, or this morning, depending on where we are? Wonderful. Well, thank you all. Thank you all for being here once again, and it's so powerful and just so wonderful to set aside an hour of our week just to sit and reconnect with ourselves and slow things down. And no, it's not something that's valued in the world around us particularly, but it's really a really lovely thing to do, and something that would have ripple effects in your life that you don't even know about with, you know, friends and family and people that you encounter. So thank you for bringing a little bit more peace into the world. And I will see you all again next week. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ollie. Thank you for your kindness.
Sorry,
Thanks very much, Ollie. Everybody looks relaxed anyway. That's a good thing.
yeah. See, times like this, it's good if we're relaxed.
Bye.
Yeah. Thanks, Karen. See you later.
Bye.
See you,
Bye,
Richard.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See you, Linz. Just stop the recording.